sometime back I watched a video. It's about Lolita dresses. It's not the main point of this conversation, but just bear with me. So I watched a video about Lolita dresses, and the creator was talking about how with Lolita dresses there was a particular trend of people really wanting certain dresses, and certain dresses were, I guess, super high in demand. And as a result, the people who did own those dresses kind of felt sometimes, not all of them, but sometimes they feel this sense of like, I can't alter this dress, or I can't modify this dress to fit my body, because what if I want to resell it? It will lose its value. Or the feeling of like, like so many other people want this dress. If I modify it, then like it increases its value to me, but then it kind of decreases the dress's value to everyone else. So that's kind of the gist of it. And her point was that dresses, as much as they are coveted and all that, are really made to be worn on the body. And for Lolitas, I mean, that was the context of the video, but for Lolitas, like, no matter how coveted a dress is, that like, if you got a chance to own it, just like, it's yours. It's not a community thing. Like, it's not like the whole community of other hobbyists owns that dress just because they want it. It's really just yours, and if you want to modify it, alter it, tailor it to suit your own body, that is really like up to you. It's like take a chance, do it, right? Like, do it because it would suit you better and you'll feel better wearing it. So that was kind of the starting point of what I wanted to talk about today. The idea of like the body, the default avatar, who we are here today in this world, and modifying the body, or like, from mild things like clothes to maybe more extreme body modifications. Like, I'm not here to talk about any particular modification, but just like the general idea of it. So so let's start with the default skin, right? So the default skin is kind of like, the way I see it, the default skin is kind of like how you appear outwardly. If you kind of just go along with everything around you, so like, to some extent, buying what is most easily available to you, putting it on your body, or like, if you're like me, you need glasses, you wear glasses, whatever makes most sense, maybe monetarily wise, whatever you can afford or was easiest to buy. Maybe the default skin is that you have no tattoos, the way I don't. There's no particular way that a default skin, for the sake of discussion, really looks like, but it's more of this idea that I'm thinking about, of like, you kind of just, you don't make any particular choice consciously. Like, sure, you make a choice, but it's kind of more like you just went along with the flow. You kind of just, like, choices happen onto you, I suppose, more than you really actively having made a choice. So that's kind of what I mean by default skin. And I think for a long time I had the idea that the opposite of the default skin, the default way you look, is vanity. And I think something that I heard a lot, well, not a lot, but something that was very impactful to me growing up, not in a particularly good way, I guess, but it was particularly impactful in that it was influential, I guess. Yeah, so something that was influential to me in my life, even though I don't think it serves me right now, is something that my dad said to me when I was a young girl, when I was a young child, and that was that I had no business being vain, that there was no need for me to look pretty, or that like I should put all my effort and time into studying, into becoming a better worker, a better person, etc. And looks were not part of it. And I understand that like it's in a way progressive from the thinking of that time, which was it was a retaliation of like, yeah, girls should have an equal choice or an equal right. Girls should be allowed to do whatever they want to do and not be judged solely based on their looks. So I can see where that was coming from. It was really coming from a place of wanting better for women, but the downside or like the results of that was really that when I was a child, I basically thought like being pretty was a thing that was for other people, and I don't necessarily want to be pretty. I don't necessarily want to be pretty, and I think over time I've come to realize that there is another option besides just the default skin or being vain. I mean, really, there are a lot of other choices, but the one that makes most sense to me is this idea that I'm also slowly coming to and slowly working on embodying, is that the body, like my body, is really my vessel, my avatar, my whatever you want to call it, to customize. And like the point of it is that it suits me. So we are coming back to the Lolita dress again. So the idea is really that like, my vessel, my body is mine first and foremost. Well, it's debatable whether you want to think it belongs to the community, but honestly, like that aside, it is mine, right? Like my body is mine. So the same way something like a dress is not community's property or public property, and you can modify it to suit yourself however it is best for you, I've been thinking about how that applies to me and my body and my vessel, whatever you want to call it in real life. And are there physical manifestations of that? Yes, sure. I've been getting more into clothes and dressing and how I want to put that together lately, but I want to talk a bit more about the general mindset away from, the object, the like clothes or whatever I put on my body. So it's... Sorry, there's like an ant. There's like ants everywhere. So maybe it's hard to do that without talking about specific things. So let's talk about some specific things. Like I feel like what I look like on the outside is, I want it to reflect how I feel inside, and also kind of want it to be an expression of how I am in this world. And it's less about looking a particular way. So in a way, it's kind of less about being vain or following beauty standards. I mean, doesn't really matter whether you follow beauty standards or not. I think for me, the more important thing is that, like, whether you follow it or not, whether, if you do, let's say, whether those standards are suitable for you. And in my case, I don't think so. So I've had to kind of forge my own sense of style. Yeah, but it's really... Let's talk about the pieces. Let's talk about the pieces of what I use to define my personal style. So, why it's personal is really because it's catered to the practicalities of what I'm comfortable with, what I'm willing to wear, what I would actually wear, what I'm comfortable wearing, like, the real life logistics of like, will I actually spend the time to do this thing? So, like, I don't like to wear accessories, I don't like bracelets, I don't like necklaces. The only accessory I wear on a regular basis are earrings, and that's because I kind of just put them in and I leave them in the whole time, I forget about them, so it works for me. Glasses I wear because I'm short-sighted, and I pick a style, I leave it. It works for me that way. Like, the reason why I pick certain things to be an outward reflector of my style is also because I'm very aware that I'm a person that would not want to do something that is troublesome or uncomfortable, and I won't do it for long. Like if I need to put on rings, I used to wear rings, and I realized that I just never bothered putting them on when I go out because it's an additional step. I don't particularly enjoy. If you enjoy it, I guess that is in itself an expression of who you are, right? But like for me, I don't really enjoy sitting down to put on the rings. What I do enjoy is sitting down once every few months to change out my earrings, to change out my configuration of earrings. So there is that. So other things that I've recently found out about myself, or I guess really incorporated into like what I'm doing as I'm thinking about my personal style, is the idea that I don't like to wear layers. Yeah, like it doesn't work with the weather here in Singapore. It's too hot, and like even if I'm in an air-conditioned room, I mean, sure, I'll put on a jacket, but it's not really like a main part of my outfit for the day. It's more like if I'm really cold. So I don't like layers also because I find it very troublesome. Like if I have a shirt and an extra jacket on, like when I'm moving, when I'm carrying my bag, the jacket moves and shifts, and like it's just, I mean, I can bear with it, but I have to bear with it. You get what I mean? Like it's not the most comfortable thing to do. So those are like some of my own personal things, right? And like all of these are deeply personal, kind of the same way, like, if you alter a Lolita dress to fit your body, it's because your body is a particular size that it's not the standardized size. And the same way I am finding out about how I want to customize my external avatar, I've come to realize that there are certain things that it may not be as visible as something like your dimensions, your measurements on and how you fit a dress, but it's there. It's in how I behave, it's in how I'm lazy to put on extra jewelry before I go out, it's in how I don't like dealing with extra layers or any dangly bits off of my outfit because it just like feels like a hassle and it makes me uncomfortable. Like I can't move about freely. And all those things are really, part of who I am, even though it takes a bit of time to find. Like it's not as immediately visibly obvious as, let's say, just your body dimensions. So yeah, this has gotten a bit long. There isn't really a point to this video. It's kind of just a musing of what I've been thinking about in terms of modifying my body or modifying my vessel as it is. And I think I just want to end off with a little bit about other people. So I've always found myself drawn to people who have a distinct sense of style. There are particular styles that I like more than others, but I think as long as the person really embodies, like, feels confident, feels like they're right, feels like they're fitting whatever they've chosen to put on their body. And usually it's more obvious to see if it's like not whatever everybody else is wearing. So of course I'm usually drawn more to odd styles. But it's not really just about that. Like there are people, there are girls dressed in what is probably a typical fashion here in Singapore, like a certain OL style, or a certain like sweet neighborhood girl next door kind of style. And sometimes it really suits them. Like it's not exclusively like, oh, default skin is bad. Like, it's really about making that choice of like finding out who you are and letting your outer appearance, your outer modification, your outer appearance show that, and doing any modifications necessary to really more fully embrace that, like if it's necessary. And yeah, like it doesn't really matter to me what the choice is, I feel. Like I used to think I want tattoos because I like it on other people, but I've since realized that I don't. I want my body to be without tattoos, and it doesn't mean that I can't appreciate it. It just means it's not for me. And yeah. So anyway, on the way here today, I saw a guy that was relatively conventional in terms of dressing. Like he had glasses, he had short hair, he was wearing a white t-shirt and shorts, and he had a tote bag, etc. But I think the thing that really caught my eye was that he had pierced ears, like one on each earlobe, and he had like a simple pair of probably like sparkly diamond, pseudo diamond ear studs, like not very big also. And I was just like, yeah, like I want to be like that. Like I want to be not like outwardly physically looking like that, but I want to be like that. Like I can look however I want to, but like what I mean is it doesn't really matter what it looks like on the outside, but I want to be in the energy of being like, yes, this is me. This is what I want my outer body, my outer vessel to look like. And I guess this is how I want to end my video today. So, yeah. We'll see each other next time. Bye.